Hi. Ooh, Sunday is a day of rest, isn't it? Apparently. A day of rest. Sunday affairs as well. That wasn't very good, is it? Sunday affairs. Well, how about that? Sunday affairs. Remember those? I remember them. Mine work on any day of the week, so I work shifts. However, TK, how you doing? Nice to see you. Do you know that here? You okay? Everyone's all right. Sunday evening, people are like fireworks all over the place, isn't it? It was terrible about that stabbing last night, wasn't it? On the train in Huntingdon. Dreadful. Hello, Laura. Um, every day is precious, isn't it? Every day is precious. Hi, Leslie. Hope you're well. I am in the right live now. Where did you go before? Hello, John. Hope you're okay. Do you remember the Sunday affairs? Or the Monday affairs, or Tuesday? Because I was fearful every day. I used to drink too much. Because I didn't do Monday to Friday. I could go back to work on the Thursday and think, God, I don't want to go back to work. I used to love my job. I didn't like the anxiety levels or the carry on that went with it, the sweats and not feeling well. And I was up, I see back in 10, nipping back to the boat with me, sort of. Sounds very nice, doesn't it? It's pretty hard, bro. I'm just going back to the boat for an hour. See you all later, you peasants. Have time on the yacht. So, shipmates. Okay, so about season. So yeah, it was a horrendous feeling when you got that anxiety kicked in. As soon as you thought about going back to work, it's not because of the work; it was the fact you felt unwell, didn't you? You felt rough. You felt just unwell. Yeah. Had slept properly. You had too much to drink. You spent a fortune, and you maybe haven't made it with your partner or whatever, and your life starts to crumble. But I'll put a little video out tonight about. We'll put a couple out about when you start to need a hair of the dog. My first was when I had a 24-hour drinking spell going on a French trip. I remember quite well because when you're looking at hair of the dog, you're in a mess, aren't you? I've spoken to quite a few people about this, quite a few people I mentor and chat to. When you start to need a drink to get you over the fear or the apprehension or the anxiety, should we say, of coming back to work or doing anything, that's when you're in deep trouble, isn't it? When you feel as if you can't cope without a drink. And then you start going to daily drinking after that, and then you full on, and you just can't get back. Unfortunately, Tommy Martin, how you doing? CC, burnout with pain. That's what it's like, isn't it? Burnout with pain. It's a death addiction. Somebody said. Imagine calling it that, a death addiction, which you can't escape from. Burnout with pain. Yeah, that's true. Because you're exhausted, aren't you? I've never been so tired as when I used to drink. It's much relax you. It made me more tired. Crazy, isn't it? Leslie, one of my worst problems as an alcoholic teacher was writing on the board without shaking. And the more I fretted about it, the more I shook. Yeah, that's a good point. I remember we had a duty state. We had to book on and off, pen and paper then in those days. And some days towards the end of my career, I could hardly write my name. It's really bad to look back, the things that I couldn't cope with. I couldn't actually, we say that a functional alcoholic, there isn't such a thing. You can't function properly, can you? Ginger, hope all is good. There's Mr. Morgan, nice to see you. There's your horrible Sunday fears. Awful, isn't it? But when the Sunday fears turn to everyday fears, then you're not, can you? That's the problem. Christopher, 5494. Greetings to you. I hope you're well and have a good weekend. Yeah, all good, Chris. Thank you. Xander, fears the descriptions of life on the ward in the hospital. It's terrible in the ward. You never had any sleep, It just went on and on and on. Hi, Chris. On the ward, I was getting 4 hourly checks. They must have been pretty ill then. So I do blood pressure, I do a thing in your thumb, whatever they do, and every 4 hours. And every day they used to give me blood checks because I thought my kidneys would fail with the ascites flu, but they didn't. But it was very low with me, my sodium. You've got low sodium level, you can go into a coma. Mine was at about 119, something about 140-ish, I think. And I had an emergency operation where I had a seizure in the hospital. But the people used to die in there. Incredible. The amount of people who died when I was in. I wasn't in all the time for 2.5 years. I was in for, like 3 weeks, out for a week, and for 4 weeks, and for a week, that sort of thing. Because I just get worse when I was at home, and I just couldn't cope. I'd be taken out of the hospital again. So I used to see people on a regular basis and say, "Oh, you're in again, and you're in again, you're in again," because we all have the same sort of symptoms. And you just see one guy, I remember so vividly, he had a racehorse. I didn't want to gamble up himself a couple of quid when he said, "This will win, that way." And I became good friends with him. And it's funny enough because I was in the police. His daughter was a policewoman. I got to know him really well, and his wife. And they took him for what was supposed to be a minor operation one day. He never came back. But he couldn't take it. The liver disease had just ravished his body, made it weak. Gareth, the change is when you had alcohol and then they had you sleep. That's change. Yeah, that's true. You have the alcohol and the alcohol takes you. Mr. Morgan, 42 days sober and however freak, anxiety way less. Things are looking up great. Well, look, keep going, yeah? Keep going with that because it'll get better, get easier. Keeps from vaccination 40 days, definitely. Karawati, I managed to go a year without a drink and decided to have a drink this weekend. How am I anxiety for work tomorrow? Yeah, you can do it. Whether you've been off for 2 days, 3 weeks, a year, 10 years, 25 years, it'll have you back immediately. It's not a good thing. I hope you benefit from these lives. If you do, please drop your super chat or the coffee links pinned at the top here to support the channel. The more support we get, the more we can do. It's good to see you all here. Yeah, you've got to keep pushing with this. If you've got a few days under your belt, then keep it alive, keep it going. John, great video earlier about your 24 hours on the source. Oh, thanks, John. Yeah, that 24 hours on the drink was what started me off into. Well, I knew that I knew I had a problem, but it was the first time I had to reach for a drink the next day to take away the pain of the alcohol. But the Carew 80 there's mentioned, he was off for a year, straight back in the anxiety. It's incredibly quick. It's incredibly divisive. And the power of alcohol. Wow. Hello, Dennis. Nice to see you. Gareth, when you drink, you drink just to feel normal. That's good with you. Gareth said that when you drink to feel normal. At one point, I couldn't even feel normal. I was sort of drinking to try and survive, I think. That's a good point. You do feel normal. You're using it as medicine, really, aren't you? You're self-medicating all the time. Unicorn 8130. Good evening. How are you doing? Well, yeah, my girlfriend, partner, fiance, said recently, when you need a drink rather than want a drink, is when you got a problem. I'll never forget that. I'll never forget. We saw the other day. But when you need a drink rather than wanting one, that's when you got a problem. So anybody who's not at that stage yet, if you do get that stage, and roll back as soon as you can. Hello, Anne. How are you doing? Nice to see you. Thanks for everybody who supports the channel. Thanks for coming on here. If you want to support the channel, there's a super chat button or a coffee link at the top, as you know by now. But yeah, somebody made a good point earlier. You'd be off for a year and suddenly back to a few drinks, you got the anxiety back. It's almost immediate. That when you've been off for a while, you have a drink again, you think it's worth it, and then it hits you like a train again. It's so quick. Mark, Sunday is an awful day just before work. You need to be sober to face the fear. It will only make the pain worse. It does. And then what happens? You start to drink a bit later on the Sunday, don't you? You have worse sleep than you would have done if you stopped earlier. It's just a vicious cycle, isn't it? Gareth, you inspire me. May keep it older, Gareth. Thanks very much. Thanks for all the support, Gareth. Thanks for all of you coming on here. Yeah, getting back to John's comment there, 24 hours on the salt. It was a French trip. I'd never drank at 6 o'clock in the morning before. When I joined the police in London, a group decided to go to France for the day. And I'd never been an early drinker. I was only young, in my 20s, and got on this coach. and they had beer in the coach. So 6 o'clock in the morning. I didn't want to drink it, to be honest. But you do when you're on the crest of a wave. You just go with the flow, don't you? And then drank all day. Anyway, it ended about 24-hour drinking. 24 hours. I mean, I'd been a reasonably heavy or moderate to heavy drinker when I was in my late teens, early 20s, but this was another level. When I joined the police, it was like, because there were older people there, more experienced people, more seasoned drinkers and that sort of thing. Not everybody, but the ones that stuck together, birds of a feather and all that. And it was the first, after that particular day, the next day when I woke up about 6 o'clock in the afternoon, because I drank from 6 a.m. to 6 a.m., straight through, I needed a drink to actually just get out of bed, really. I'll never forget that day. I just, in some parts of your life, some incidents in your life you never forget. Like when you meet the love of your life, or somebody dies, or you get a new job, or something happens. It's one of those moments I'll never forget. The feeling I had, I've got to have a drink to try and function a little bit. And then it becomes a crutch, doesn't it? That hair of the dog thing. And then you can progress from there to day drinking, which is drink all the time. Drink before you go to a meeting, drink before you go to a social event, all that sort of thing. Drink before you fly. Mark. See if a guy messaged you. He was off 23 years and went back on the booze in the bender in Greece. It's a horrible state. Yeah, I saw that, yeah. 23 years off it, had a couple of beers and ended up in hospital. Semi-light drink does give you a bad night's sleep. Horrendous. But it gets worse than that, though, because that's a hangover symptom, isn't it? Bad night's sleep, sweaty bit, don't feel particularly good, don't feel like breakfast. When you get a withdrawal and you start to shake, nightmares and tremors and all this sort of thing, then it's a different ball game. You're not eating properly, you can't function. Your body gives up on you, doesn't it? That's not a good place to be. I've done quite a lot of new videos, so I hope you like them. We're nearly at 15,000 subscribers, so if you know anybody who hasn't joined yet, please get them on there and subscribe to the channel. And well, let's hit 15,000 this week, be good, wouldn't it? And grow the channel, get more people healthy, get more people off the booze. Christopher, I've been watching Rick from Superstar. He makes a mockery of people who are fighting for sobriety and put in the effort. And the daily basis is full of excuses and mental fragility. Strange guy, him. I haven't got time to watch him really. I've seen little snippets, but he seems, I don't know, I don't know what he is. Mark. I mean, this is quite a serious channel, a bit of a twist, really, because I want everybody healthy, because I'm very lucky to be alive, to be fair. Marking out the shorter days, evening arriving that much sooner, awful time for people like myself trying to avoid alcohol. Yes, Mark, it's a big trigger for people in the winter. And now you've got the oncoming Christmas period, or upcoming, sorry, and New Year. And all the time between Christmas and New Year, when nobody knows what day it is, really, don't know what to do. You just go to the pub, don't you? Most pubs are open Christmas Day now, especially Spoons. Mark, the best. Sorry, Mark, not Mark 7. The best night's sleep is not got by the softest pillow, but a clear conscience. That's I like that. Nice quote. Sam Lloyd, did you have high blood sugar because of drink? A little bit, yeah. A little bit. But I was super fit then. I mean, when I was younger. I think you get a bit high blood pressure as you get older. Just a little bit of weight. You can normally put it right with a bit of exercise and cutting down the booze, obviously. Dr. 167 just been an advert on TV for Stella with David Beckham promoting it. How is this allowed? God, I haven't seen that. That was my drink of choice, really, Stella, or any sort of what I would call premium lager. He's into everything, Beckham, isn't he? He's not got enough money. Well, she spent quite a bit, didn't she? Sorry. Yeah, I don't watch TV, to be fair. I tend to watch the news, but I don't really see a lot of TV other than the news. But I haven't seen that advert, but I'll keep an eye out for it. He shouldn't be promoting that shit. But, he's got a very young following, Beckham, isn't he? It's not really on, is it? There's no cigarette advertising anymore, is there? They don't advertise cocaine or heroin. Why is booze advertised? It's just as harmful, in fact, it's more harmful in some ways because it's available everywhere. Maybe they should look at that, the TV advertising. I think there's too much money in it, isn't there? The world is governed by money. Money's powerful. Money talks, and it's just never change. David Beckham was super rich. I spent all my money on booze. Yeah. Well, people get to a level that they want more, don't they? Blame me with booze, really. There's no off switch. But it certainly shouldn't be rammed down our throats. Excuse the pun. But like alcohol is. When you've got a lot of youngsters watching that, young aspiring footballers, and then they go, oh, just a few pints like David did. You know what people are like? Struan, Robertson. Why do some people become addicted to alcohol and others who may drink heavily from time to time don't? For me, it was a habit. It was a regularity of it, I think. And the habit became an addiction. I had no really control over it when I started. I had to keep going. Not to the point of falling over, but I'd have to have a drink every day. I just got it happen. Yeah, I used to enjoy it. Finishing late, turn 10:30 in London's West End. It was good, place to work. It was quite high all the time. A little bit of cash, nice pubs, character places, good mates. Pop in the pub, have 2 or 3 pints, or 4 or 5 sometimes after work. Go home, a couple more, because once you get the taste, you have a couple more, and that sort of thing. So I know a lot of people who drink a lot more than I ever did, who never became ill as yet. But it's not just the liver, The pancreas can be affected. 7 types of cancer linked to alcohol use. You've got a lot of heart disease, blood pressure, strokes, all this sort of thing, haven't you? There's a lot of different things linked to it. You've got to be very careful with it. And that's why it's such a divisive illness, isn't it? Not many people live past 60 who are alcohol dependent. And I'm the wrong side of 60, so I'm a bit of a miracle considering what was wrong with me. Not a miracle, I don't mean like in that sense, but medically, I'm doing pretty well. Maybe it's because of my genes, because my parents, well, most still alive in 94, my dad was 92, and there's a lot of longevity in the family. Sam Lord, you're right. You just cannot go to the pub and just have 1 or 2. No, you can't. It's impossible. Dennis Money, my sober friend said, I like sobriety. I don't love my sober life. But I love sober me 100 times more than drunk me. 100%. Excellent statement, right? Yeah. I like being sober. I've got no compulsion to drink whatsoever. Marcus Struan, it's just the way the cookie crumbles. Life's not fair. I'd love to be able to get pissed weekend and stop during the week. Yeah, I think someone's getting a bit old to get the buzz. My dad said, you've got to grow up at some point. Gareth Clifford, my best friend died this year, 1949, from alcohol. Oof. That'll maybe be liver disease, I'm not sure, but there's all sorts of things can happen. I've got a friend who has had pancreatitis twice, but he still drinks. It's never going to get any better for him, is it? You've got to heed the warning. Your body will tell you first, then the doctors will tell you. But you will know when you're drinking too much. Because it's obvious, isn't it? You start to feel worse and worse and worse. Your body will react to it. You won't feel like eating anything. You just feel rough all the time. And, that's the first warning, isn't it? You look at your bank balance and think, geez, where's all that money going? You lost £1,000 a month. Or you spent £1,000 a month on booze. You may start gambling or, all this sort of thing. DTA, day 37 today. Fantastic. Well done. That's had a few. Trying to, how many few? Few close calls. Oh, sorry, few close calls. Yeah, you're doing well then. Just focus on how ill you're going to be if you keep drinking. How well you're going to be if you stop. That's all we've got. We've got an ebook out, it's only $5.99. Get sober, stay sober. It's a good little reference guide. The links and the description of all the videos. Danny, I'm new to your channel. I've watched some of your videos, and they're very interesting. How long have you been sober for this time? 6 years now, Danny, but I won't be able to drink again. Otherwise, I'll die. I've had the ultimatum, so I won't be drinking again. At any cost, to be honest. Unless I want to die. It'd be like getting a revolver for me. Russell, I have end-stage liver cirrhosis, 46 years old. I often wonder how much time I've left. What have they said to you, Russell? What are your blood tests like? Because I was told I had decompensated liver cirrhosis 6 years ago. Now it's fully compensated with normal blood tests. And the consultant said I have a normal lifespan. So, you can turn around, but I don't know how far you are down the line, Russell, on that one. But interesting if you want to share that. Mark, congratulations. Thanks, Mark. Heaven, sorry to hear that Gareth, my friend's funeral is tomorrow. It was so fast, I thought he'd be okay. Liver complications being slow usually. You must have had it failed. Wow, Jesus. That's a sad story. Well, mine was failing. I reckon if I hadn't caught it in time, I'd been about another 3 or 4 weeks. So I had everything going on. The ascites fluid and the spontaneous bacterial peritonitis. I didn't have any kidney problem. I didn't have any jaundice, which is quite unusual apparently. But I didn't smoke, and I've been very, very fit when I was younger. I think that helps. So what you do today will, help you out in the future, won't it? If you keep yourself well. You got to look after yourself. That's all you got to do. Look after yourself. That's what you got to do. Andy Hotley, hello everyone. Steve's book is a good guide, some good stuff in it. Worth a look. Thanks, Andy, for that. Yeah, have a look at that book. It's $5.99. It's nothing, and there's some photographs in there. I think, God, I don't want to go back to that state. So thanks, Andy. Hope you're well. So I've given up booze for ages, but no miracle work. I can't walk on water, so I have to row back this bloody boat. Yeah, that's the thing. None of us are immortal, are we? We've got to remember that. You know that. Watch that on the news. Actually, I don't want to tell you other than the news. That thing last night in Cambridge, on the train. You're just heading down to London with your family, and suddenly a nutter gets on and tries to chop your head off. You have to enjoy every day, and if you're in withdrawal, you're hungover every day. You're not enjoying life, are you? Danny Leslie, I'm glad to hear you're back on the right straight and narrow. I saw the video when you told how you started drinking again after being sober for 8 years. Really glad you're sober again. Thanks, Danny. Yeah, it's easy to do, but I can't do it again. When I did that in 2014, I'd been sober for 8 years. I thought I could master it. I now know it's a master of me. So I couldn't fight it. I can't fight it. I've fought a lot of people in my life, especially when I was in the police. It's part of the game, isn't it? But I can't fight alcohol. It beat me. That's it. Fair enough, isn't it? You can't win them all. Mark, I'm embarrassed to say, but I pissed myself almost every time I went drinking, which was thousands of times. You stood on my bed, clothes, waking up in your own pisses was terrible. We've all done that, Mark. Well, most of us have. I've woken up in the middle of forest and all sorts of places I shouldn't have been. Christopher, I've been very lucky actually. Christopher, if we keep away from the first drink, win the battle. Easily said that I've done something with Steve. I agree. Yeah, it's much easier to say don't drink than actually put it into practice, isn't it? I won't be drinking. I can't recall. Must be thousands of times that I've been on duty on early turn at 6:30 in the morning, and people have said on parade or whatever, "Oh, we'll not drink this weekend. This week we'll not drink today." Then 2:30, most of the people who said that were in the boozer. Not most, but some. You know what I'm saying? How many times have we walked over with a bad head and thought, "Oh, I'm not going to do that again." 3 o'clock, you think, "Oh, I might as well have a can now, a bit of pasta, fine." Every fucking day for me. But I'm so proud of you, mate. You're a legend. Thanks, Gareth. Heaven, yeah, Chris, it's the first one for me. Once I start, I don't stop. There's no off switch, is there? No off switch. See your question. If you had not had that life-threatening events, do you think you would have given up alcohol? No pressure on that one question. Probably not. I mean, I know people who say should I give up. I'll say how much you're doing. Have a few pints most nights. So if it's not causing any problems, if you don't want to give up, you don't have to. I mean, mine was forced. But it's a good question. If I hadn't had those problems, I think you would have given up. Maybe not. I know I needed to improve my life, and the only way to improve your life is to give up, isn't it? It does you no favours. Most alcoholics are single men. I didn't want to be a single man. Just rotting away in the corner of spoons. And it's everywhere, isn't it? People get down, they get depressed. And so I think that was the end for me. So, but interesting question. Thanks. Yeah, it's the first one. So you get the first one, you get the taste. Even comedians mention it. Mickey Flanagan. He just goes out for a pint with his mates at 5, spending home by 7. He has 1 or 2 and gets his flavour. He calls it the flavour, not the taste. Brings the missus at 7, I'll be back at 8, gets a few more drinks, so I'll be back at 9, then it never turns up. How many times have you done that? Promise yourself you're not going to have a drink. Promise yourself you have 2. 2 pints is what people say. I'm going to have 2 pints. A lot of people used to think they can drink and drive for 2 pints. Just have 2. And then you end up leaving your car. Or you end up driving, trusting the fucking thing. Or driving and being lucky. So there's all this going on, isn't there? As well as everything else that goes on. It's just it's a very damaging thing. It'll take you down so fast. And it's hard to get back. As I've said many times, if you're off for a long time, off the books for a long time, you try and get back again. It takes so long. So yes, quite honestly, I would not have given up without medical intervention. That was my final, the last chance to do it. Yeah, same with me. Yeah, 100% someone. You just can't do it. If you drank again, if I drank again, it might as well just shoot us off. Be quicker and less costly. Hayden, good evening. How are you doing? Hope you're well. If you benefit from these lives, then please drop a super chat in and the buy me coffee link at the top there. Keeps the channel at the forefront of things. I still think we're the only channel that does the live a few times a week. Alan Kai 777. I found that drink only ever game gave me the illusion of confidence. The next day, your confidence is nowhere to be found. Most people cannot function without it. It's a good point, that it's an illusion of confidence, isn't it? Because the next day, you're a broken person. There's no comparison between the person you were at 8 o'clock on Friday night to the person you are at 4 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon. Shaking like a leaf. It's a good point here, Mark, so that spot on, Alan. An illusion of confidence. It actually breaks down your confidence over time, doesn't it? I went from being a very confident, strong person to being a mouse of a person within a few days of drinking. Two different people. Yeah, you're right. Two different people. It's because you become. Well, it's like you say, an illusion. It's a depressant. It's a drug, isn't it? It's a mind-altering drug as well. It's like being in the Matrix. None of it is real. No, it isn't. It's not really at all. It's all false. It's a false environment. The pubs, the clubs, or whatever they are, the lights and all, it's all false. Very, very false. Store writer, obrigado. I don't know what that means, but obrigado. Part of what it means. However, let's move on. John Doe, thanks, John, for that super chat. Everyone click the like. It helps to promote the channel and helps more people. Cheers to you. Thanks so much, John. If anyone wants to join John, the donation, the more support we get, the more we do, really. Simple as that, really. But thanks again for that, John. Always appreciate it. It takes a bit of putting together this. But it's good that I can help people. I get some fantastic messages back, from folk who've been helped and who are appreciative of all of you as well coming on. Because I always say to people, hi Samantha, hope you're well. Been a lovely day, isn't it? It's always a lovely day if you know the right people. Hayden, good, thanks, Steve. Hope you're good. Dark Knight's trying to keep busy up and down. Up and down 7 months. 7 months is good. Keep focusing on that. I said before, the dark nights creep in. People get a bit bored. I don't have the same, I suppose, energy levels. But you've got to push yourself. Today I went to the gym again. I'm going to tomorrow again with my partner. You've got to keep that going. As soon as you get in there, you think, I feel all right. The biggest issue going when you're getting any exercise done and going to the gym is getting out there, isn't it? When you get there, you feel much better. Much, much better. Because for Hughes, my mum always told me there was a Chris 1 and a Chris 2. She didn't like the Chris 2 when I was drinking. Yeah, that's good, that. Yeah. It's, well, like I said, it's two different people. Somebody mentioned it earlier, didn't it? It's two different people. It's an illusion of confidence, and then next to you're a broken person. Thanks so much, John, for that donation. Ricky, Life After Hedgehog. Stephen, are you a big curry eater? Funny enough, I do like curry. I used to be able to eat Vindaloo. But the thing is, try and drink the Vindaloo. You have one drink, you don't eat any. Chicken madras, Ricky. Hope you're well, mate, Ricky. Simon, keep going to the gym, Steve. Yeah, I think it's a massive help, that. Fitness. Even if you're not doing too much, it's consistency, isn't it? The word consistency with anything, same with diet, and it always makes you feel better, though. Even if you've been for a couple of days, just push yourself along. Don't go crazy. You don't need to put a load of lighter on and lift hundreds of pounds of weight or kilos of weight. Samana, alcohol gives us a form of temporary escapism. And after prolonged use, it becomes your master in which you can't escape. It's very true, that. I tell you what's a good substitute for that, once you're sober. And I haven't been for years. Well, I went once from the partner. a few months ago was the cinema. Because it's dark, you escape for a few hours at the cinema. It's basically trying to relax without alcohol, and if you can do that, you've won the game. I think, to be fair. And again, the other thing I mentioned, when you need a drink or want one, you're in trouble. So get help as soon as you can. Ricky, curry and beer. Well, I used to be massive into that. I used to use going for curry as an excuse to get more drink. A lot of us have done that a bit, I imagine. Curry and beer, I tend to use an excuse to start drinking. Of course you do, yeah. John Steve, try a foul curry, only if you're like 100% stronger than a vinegar. I couldn't eat that. I've heard of that, though. It's a bit of a killer, isn't it? Christopher Hughes, I think exercise is key in recovery. It is. Definitely exercise. I do a lot of running and cycling. It helps so much for the mental health. Yeah. Amazing work, that, Chris. Nick, hello, Steve. Thanks for your uploads, man. You're welcome. There's a lot of new videos on there. As I said, like and subscribe because we're nearly at 15,000 now. Let's please get to 15,000 by Friday. What date will that be? 7th of November. Actually, make it 5th because that's Guy Fawkes, isn't it? Samara, Ricky, curry and drinking go hand in hand, just like bacon and eggs. They do, man. Nobody ever says after a heavy drinking session, let's go and have steak and chips. Always curry, isn't it? It's never Chinese, it's just curry or kebabs. Depends how much money people have got. But getting back to the other point, when I did that 24-hour drinking session, and I remember it being now I remember being the first time that I actually reached for a drink after a session. I knew then really I was having problems, Pasta and wine, Ricky said. And when you start to feel that you need a drink to, well, not to mask the feeling, but to try and dumb down the feelings of withdrawal or hangover, then you really have got problems. Because you need some help then, some medical help. If you can get it. I mean, a lot of doctors aren't giving out pills now. But I mentioned before, doctors drink as well, That's why they poo-poo the idea to say, oh, you'll be all right, just cut down, because that's what they've done. Unless the doctor's an alcoholic or has been an alcoholic or recovering alcoholic. But another video, I've done loads of videos this week, was there's no cure for this either, It's manageable. There's never a cure for alcoholism. Never going to be one. Not going to spend my money now on eating out whenever I can get the best food, because I didn't eat for months when I was drinking. No, I didn't for years probably. Gordon Ramsay always says, it doesn't matter what your budget is, get the best food you can afford. I believe that. Matt 2367, my hangovers go so bad I was experiencing terrible panic and anxiety attacks. I could barely go out in public without the hair of the dog. Became a vicious cycle. Yeah, that's the problem. I couldn't get out either. It gives you a bit of confidence temporarily, and then you come back. You hit the ground so hard when you go on relapse and come back again. Alcohol wrecked my stomach lining, so I can only eat milk. Was the same. Somewhere may I call that alcohol anxiety? It is, yeah. Alcohol anxiety is a good term. John Doe, my local curry house was open until 2. Exactly. Just like a lock-in, isn't it? An extension, as you say. I'll learn everything in moderation except moderation kills. You can never be a balanced alcoholic. You can't. No, you cannot moderate. And it's only doctors. Sorry, it's the only drug that doctors will ask you to moderate it. Moderate it. You cannot moderate alcohol. You can't moderate smoking. You can't moderate cocaine and heroin, can you? You've got to just cut it out. If you'd like to support the channel, there's a super chat button in there. There's also the Buy Me Coffee link. Just as an aside, coffee is very good for the liver. It helps it regenerate. It provides protection against further damage, which is good. So maybe just 2 or 3 coffees a day if you can manage that. Don't go over the top of that. Paul Millward, hate the relapse so hard to stop again. That's the problem. It gets worse if relapse makes stopping again harder. I think that's a killer for most people, to be honest. People have been off it. But I said everyone's an individual. We're all different. Some people can drink a lot and survive, but something will happen to them. You're going to take years off your life in some form. My moderated drink would be going on a bend of 5 days. Oh, crazy, isn't it? Just drink, fall asleep. Drink, fall asleep, and try and get off it. Ricky, a lot of curry restaurants let you bring your own drinks. Yeah, that's a good point, actually. I'm going to one in Birmingham. It was like that. They didn't have a license, but you bring your own drinks in. There's all sorts of ways around it. But I mean, now drinking is 24 hours a day anyway, isn't it? You can get it easily from 24-hour shops, petrol stations, online delivery service. It's open for abuse, open to abuse. It is getting worse, and it's going to get much worse as this recession deepens. 14,000 jobs gone to Amazon, various other companies closing because of AI and all this sort of thing. And the more, well, just looking around and listen to the news and watching things around you, you can tell people are getting poorer. And they're hitting the bottom more. It's a relief, isn't it? Temporary relief. Can't afford the water bill, can't afford the electricity bill. We've got 100 quid here, let's go and blow it on booze. That's what people do. People always find money for booze. They go in the shops, steal something, sell it, and get the money for booze. Unless they make the booze itself. So that's the sort of cycle we're in at the moment. A lot of people are shoplifting as well. You watch this another, give it another 6 months, it's going to be even worse after the budget and things. And alcohol is going to be a massive problem. So you've got to get strong, you've got to get fit and get off the booze. Because it's going to be a very difficult few years, I imagine, for a lot of people financially. And you need to be as strong as you can. Certainly not in a mess that I was in, or various other people have been in a mess. And, if you're trying to get off, focus on being well and the harm it's going to do and how well you'll be, That's where you got to focus on how good your life's going to be. So it's bad news when you only get Christmas cards off the local Indian restaurant in the corner shop with license. That actually happened to me when I lost everyone around me through the... Yeah, that's a good point. Christmas cards off the local Indian restaurant or the 7-Eleven shop. Zorro, tonight is my last night of drinking until Christmas. It's all about the gym. Well done, Zorro. Try not to start off Christmas. If you'll feel better, if you can get over that Christmas period. I know it's a bit of a void time when people off work and no one knows what to do between Christmas Day and New Year's Day. It's a funny time, isn't it? And people just hit the booze. I mean, you look at the shopping trolleys. It's 240 quid and £235 is on booze and the other five's on crisps. It's an incredibly bad time for people who are just on the edge of this alcohol problem. Not wondering where to start, maybe tapering down a bit, and then they'll just say, "Oh, just wait until Christmas or wait until New Year." There's always a wait till time. The time to do anything in life, the time to take a risk is now. Don't wait for the right conditions. If you do that, you'll never stop. You never do anything. You sometimes have to take a bit of a giant leap. So how many people said, "I'll stop on the 1st of January." By the 3rd, they're drinking again. You either stop or you just keep drinking, as far as I'm concerned. You make an effort now. Don't wait till next Thursday, or wait till after your son's birthday, or wait after your birthday, or wait after Christmas, or whatever. You've got to make a decision now and stick with it. If you don't stick with the decisions, you go up and down, round and round, you'll never get off it. You have to have a very strong desire and a strong reason to get off the booze. I hate Christmas. Me too, somebody says. It's for children, isn't it, really? Don't hate it, just embrace it. It's much easier to deal with it when you're sober. You won't get emotional over those daft songs they're playing so much. This one that I hate is that one that starts, "So This Is Christmas, What Have You Done?" That is the worst song ever written, as far as I'm concerned. John Doe, I didn't even sleep for 2 or 3 days straight when I was on the white stuff. I literally crashed and sleep for 24 or 30 hours. Wow. I never got into spurts, thankfully. That makes a lot of difference. It's all poison at the end of the day, isn't it? It was a terrible time for me when I was younger, either family fighting or alcoholism. Yeah, there's a lot of problems Christmas time. I knew that. I saw that when I was at work. Riggy, I tend to drink the whole of December away. A lot of people do. December, then well into January, then try and get off it a little bit and make all these New Year's resolutions. Just make one now. Just say I'm not going to have a drink tomorrow. But when you start to get sober, or you're sober and want to carry on, you have to remind yourself, I don't want to drink today. I do not want to rely on drink the rest of my life. I don't need it, because you don't need it. It's much easier for me to say than do, of course. It took me a long time. You have to have a reason, and a very strong reason. You have to have a reason to do something which is more productive, something which is going to be better in your eyes than alcohol, you see. Hayden, I certainly see people stocking up with alcohol in local Asda. A lot of stress out. They're so easy to turn to. Healthy habits are better, 100%, of course, yeah. Much healthier. Jonathan, I live with ghosts of Christmas past. We all do a little bit, especially boozers. John was saying it's not good, man. Alan, here's an interesting fact. Alcohol is legal in every empire that wants its people spiritually asleep. I like that. It's control, isn't it? Control of the masses. The pubs used to close early on the Sunday, so the peasants, as the government call us, could get into bed early and get up the next day. I like that. Alcohol is legal in every empire that wants its people spiritually asleep. Spot on that one. Scrooge movie with the Bill Murray. Very funny. Mark, I think that movie Scrooged. Never seen that. Never seen that movie, but there you go. So focus. Have a plan for Christmas if you're going to give up, or you're already sober, because Christmas can be a massive, massive trigger for people. Go somewhere at Christmas lunch, just have one. You say, I'll be all right. I've been off 6 weeks now. I'll be fine. Just have one. And that one goes down quite well, doesn't it? I think. Maybe I have two. Boxing Day the next day, watch the football maybe. Should I go to the pub? No, I'll not bother. Oh, well, go on, have one or two. I was all right yesterday. 3 days later, you're tucked up in bed, recovering, waiting for a delivery of booze. That's how quick it is. And you regret, Jesus, I wish on Thursday I had another drink. Regrets are massive when you've relapsed, you know. It really takes you down. And then you start to think, oh, I'm back on it now. Especially if you don't have to work and you just think, well, a bit old, a bit retired or something. Just have hair of the dog, now go to the pub, and it just goes on and on and on. All of that good time you've had when you've been sober, all of the time feeling well, you've just lost a lot because you had a few drinks. And the amount of people I speak to have one or two, and straight back square one. It's incredible. And it doesn't take long to ruin everything you've achieved, really. Because you're not going to build anything in your life when you're drinking. Most of the guys I know who I used to drink with weren't really friends, just in the pubs. They look 10 years older than I do now, and they look pretty pissed off. You very rarely see anybody happy who's drinking too much. It's a struggle, isn't it? When you're in active addiction, it's a struggle to live. It's hard, bloody work. Trying to hide the booze, trying to hide your problem from people, trying to manage finances. Because even if you're sober, life has challenges, but you can't run away from them anymore. When you're sober, you've got to deal with them. That's the biggest hurdle, really. Try to deal with everyday things. Well, thinking, I'll just have a drink first, putting things off, and not dealing with things that should be dealt with, especially important things. And also another thing, I found when I was drinking too much, you didn't get anything else checked out. You could have medical issues. You don't go to the doctor. You don't go to the dentist. You don't go to the opticians. You don't do anything because all you want to do is drink. That's all you feel like doing is drinking, isn't it? You have no motivation for doing anything other than drinking, and that's another problem. It's just it causes more problems. It's one problem on top of the other, isn't it? It never ever stops. And I think life was chaotic for me because of my alcohol intake, because there was always a problem caused by alcohol. Emails, did you ever go to the A and did it help? I went twice, and I found that it didn't really help me. There's a few good stories from people, but that's all it was. There was no real information that I could take away. I needed some medical help, to be honest. There's a few people that got sober, a few people are still drinking. It does help a lot of people, but I didn't really take to it. I saw there's a bit sort of a religious side to it, but it certainly helps a lot of people. It's worth maybe going along. I got a message from a lad I do some mentoring for, and he said that he goes to he does AA online. I don't know if that's worth a look at before you go to the AA. I don't know if anybody else has done AA online. Might be worth trying that out as an experiment, just see if it's any good. I don't know if anybody's heard from Kaz or Bertie Bassett popped in the other day, didn't he? But and also Beef and Chicken, I spoke to her the other day, but she's not on here as much as she was. So I said, if anybody needs any help, get in touch with me and we'll try and get you off the booze. We'll need everybody off by Christmas, really, don't we? And it's such a bad time when you get these dark nights coming in because you got to remember that if you stop drinking, you're going to have to find something to do for an extra 30 or 40 hours a week. It's a long, long, long day without alcohol when you're used to it. just seems to go on and on. And it's 3 o'clock, and it's 4 o'clock, and it's 5 o'clock. You go to the pub at 4 o'clock, it's 9 o'clock before you turn around again, isn't it? Stoic was on a little bit last week, but not as much. He's still okay though, and Johnny hasn't been on. Johnny the Trolley Builder lad, he's 12 weeks sober now, which is brilliant. A few people missing, but I did put a little short out. I hope you're well, Leslie, and thanks for checking up on me. I went to AA, and half the group ended up in the pub next door afterwards. Really, yeah, I never saw that. I didn't stay at the end of the time, but I went. So just as I was leaving, packing up, I just left. I thought this isn't doing me any good. But I can imagine that. Go to the pub, somewhere to go. This is the problem with the pub. It's so normal, isn't it? A lot of people I've just seen recently that I used to go to school with even years ago. Now I'm back in the northeast. Oh, do you fancy a pint? No, I don't want to drink. They don't understand. A lot of people don't understand when you say, I don't drink anymore. There's so many questions. They look shocked. You never said, I used to take heroin, I've given it a go. Wow, you've done really well. How'd you get into that mess? But if you don't drink, they say, why don't you drink? So have you got a problem? You've been arrested, you've been in prison, or whatever it is. There must be a problem. Why don't you drink? Because everyone drinks. Mike Rice has to, on live. Our time here moved back an hour. As UK's last week just come. I'll see, right. Where are you based, Mike? Jackie Williams. Did you ever meet anyone that managed to do it normally, or they were? Let me read that again. Did you ever meet anyone managed to drink normally again? No. I've done quite a lot of support work with people. If you're a heavy drinker, if you're an addict, you cannot drink normally again. Nobody's beaten it. Leslie Stoic wasn't on last night, was he? Okay, thanks, John. I remember. Jackie Williams, nice to see you. Again, you're hot. Yeah, you're either in or you're out with alcohol if you're a problem drinker. You can't become a social drinker or class, what people say normal, or class as social drinker. You can't become a social drinker when you've been an addict. Everyone that I know, I've spoken to, has tried it. We've all tried it, haven't we? And all relapsed. We can't just have 2 or 3. Eastern time zone, okay, got you, Mike. So, the people that say, I just want to drink again. Can you help me to just drink again normally? No, I can't, unfortunately, because it's no possibility, isn't it? Alan, you can't have it both ways. You're either all in or out. Very true. Yeah, Samantha said that. Yeah, that's very true. You can't drink. You got no middle choice, no third choice. Social drinkers have the 3 choices, don't they? To socially drink, to drink themselves to death, sorry, or to stop drinking. We only have 2 options. You either drink and die early, or you stop. That's it. It's very true that you're either in or out hours. So there's no middle ground. There is no middle ground for an alcoholic. So I'm 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. by default. A lot of people do have that habit thing, don't they? They're going to drink between a certain amount of hours. North Code 81. If you could become a full-time cannabis smoker, you'll be able to enjoy your cold can of beer occasionally and not feel like having more because you don't need to cold because you smoke weed instead. I never touched that. But I can't drink ever again. I wouldn't even contemplate it. But thanks for that input. Matt, I lost so-called friends since starting to drink. It's like they're annoyed and be your decision no loss. Oh yeah, most of the people that I used to drink with don't speak to me now. I find it quite amusing. I was a bit shocked at first, but I thought, well, my life's far better than theirs, so bollocks to them, Tomorrow I gave up AA because I couldn't get any more out of it. It just became the burden of turning up listening to the same old higher rock hardliners talking, but it did help knowing I was on not my own. Yeah, I suppose it does, yeah, you're not the only one. I did learn that twice I went. It's a good point tomorrow night. Ron, 98, what is it, 19801. Mate, this drink is bad, worse than drugs. I think, but nearly off now. Well done, Ron. Alan, they were never your friends, no, they're not. Just drinking buddies. That's how I manage with weed. That's good enough. So you can do it, anything to keep your health better. Because booze will kill you. Jack, you look younger each time I watch you. You have a lovely complexion. Sorry, thank you. It's this um, moisturizer, Vaseline, Brown Stuff, Cocoa, Savers 359. It's quite good actually. Do you know, I can't stand the smell of cannabis. I've never smoked, so I wouldn't know. But thanks for that, Jackie. I've never smoked. I couldn't even contemplate that. I'm quite happy with having a clean life now, semi-clean as well. Jonathan, I mean, I still eat the odd curry and the odd, takeaway a nice meal somewhere, but you can't be completely drinking water and be vegan and that. I know some people do, but I can't. So it's so scary how time controls you. It is, yeah, but alcohol will control a lot more than time. That's the biggest controller. I hope you benefit from these lives. If you would like to support the channel, please hit the super chat button. You don't have to put a force in, just a little bit of help. Every little helps. Or hit the coffee button there as well. And coffee, as I said before, is very good for you if you've got an alcohol issue. And most people on here will have an alcohol issue or be interested in it anyway. So, John Doe, yes, mate, never been keen on smoking something that smells like cat's piss. I've never smoked anything. I tried one cigarette when I was about 30 and I felt dizzy. That was bad. And this is helpful to me from a God grant me the serenity to accept the things I can't change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Good point. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people do benefit from it. I'm not really into all these long quotes. At the time I was going, I just wanted to be sober as quick as possible. So talking about it in a group of people didn't really do that much for me. Here, there's a lot of information comes very quickly, and there's different people often pop in, pop out, and that sort of thing. It's a bit more dynamic. So this is not really like an online AA. It's more of a chat thing. You can just say what you like, and you can find a lot of information out just on this channel. Jackie Williams off the cigs over here. Well done. Cigarettes is just as bad as all that. But well, put the two together. It's a bad mix, isn't it? I know a lot of people who just only drink when they smoke. When you smoke when they drink. So that seems a bit odd. Those are not addicted to cigarettes, are they? Don't do exactly somewhere. I'm glad you get a horrendous smell. Even just cigarette smoke now, because it's banned from most public areas, isn't it? You just walk past somebody at the cash point and smoke, like Jesus Christ. If you're a non-smoker, check you've got asthma. Bloody hell, that's not good. My partner's got a bit of that as well. Your cannabis. We were in Turkey recently. God, cigarettes there. Everybody was smoking cigarettes. Even the dogs were. There was cigarette smoke everywhere. In the restaurants, in the kitchens, in the streets, just madness. Mark only took ecstasy when I drank. Yeah, it's the same as other things, isn't it? People do stupid things when they drink. It lowers your inhibitions, doesn't it? And you feel, wow, just another drink. I'll try that, I'll try this, I'll gamble, whatever. Ron, NA is not for me. Fake in my eyes. Half go score when they leave the dry house are full of weed. Well, I'm from, yeah. Well, it was no good for me. I think a lot of lonely people go there, to be fair, but then a lot of lonely people go to Wetherspoons as well, don't they? There's a lot of lonely people around. Latch onto something. Maybe it's for a bit of connection, that the AA is popular. Christopher Tate, see your lives and videos were a great source of inspiration. Advice and motivation to keep me going. I'll be 15 months sober in 13 days. Fantastic. You've been there from the start, haven't you? Because the channel started around 18 months ago. I didn't do much then. It's around the 15 months is when I spoke to you first, so it's amazing that you've stuck with it for that long. And, you think you're on the right road now. Jackie Williams, AA messed me up and never again. There you go then, yeah. So it has some supporters and a lot of not very good support. Hayden bought a coffee. Thanks very much, Hayden, for the donation and the support. I appreciate that. Anybody else wants to buy a coffee and to support the channel, and please do so. It's all helps us to keep this running at a pretty high level. And there's videos coming out all the time. There's lives, there's posts, there's books, there's all sorts of carrying here. And once we hit 15,000 subscribers, then we'll get a lot more, not publicity, but the channel will grow even quicker. It tends to have these interim marks, 5, 10, 15, and so on, and then 20 next year, if not more, because the more we're on here, the more we get recognised, the more you get recognised, and the more you can put into it. And I'm sure you get something out of it. I've had some very good comments and some good feedback from it. Yeah, Ron said the more of a connection thing. I think it is somewhere to go, isn't it? The sponsor person, whether they are, will pick them up, or they'll go and see Anne and John and Davey and Steve and whatever, and it's, well, how are you doing? It's a bit more like that, isn't it? There's a lot of that in it, from what I can gather. It's years since I went, I only went twice, I guess. John Doe smoked cigarettes when I was 14 until 38. Then I had a collapsed lung randomly. Wow. That's enough incentive to give up. Of course it is, John. Ricky, I've not drunk since yesterday morning. Maybe I'll take it up. Good. 1 day is magnificent. I couldn't manage 1 day. Years ago. 6 years ago, I couldn't manage 1 day. I had to be hospitalised to get off it. Simple as that. And I only went once. It was awful. But I like that quote I put on here. It was really good, that. Thanks, Anna. Appreciate that a lot. We'll save that. Christopher, I can't thank you enough. You're a great man who wants to encourage, guide, and support people towards happiness and contentment you're experiencing. Thanks, Chris. Yeah, I've never been happier, to be fair, but that's for a number of reasons. Not just because of the drink, but the drink, not drinking leads on to positive things, good people, positive vibes. It builds on day, really. When you drink alcohol, it takes away day after day after day until you have nothing. And it'll take you down 6 foot under. Alcohol will build you up. That's a good way of looking at it. When you fancy that first drink, just I haven't had a drink for 2 years. I'll just try one. Think about where you're going to be in 6 months' time after that one, because you might not be here. Because it really does hit you more each time you relapse. 1 day at a time, definitely more. Chuck Williams, I think you need to focus on bringing in the light at times. I've joined book clubs and art classes at weekends. Live and installations helped. Yeah, that's what you're saying. I joined book clubs and art classes at weekends. I live in isolation, so yeah, you've got to do stuff, haven't you? You've got to get some connection. Even though I'm on my own, I like my own company. The clubs helped. You've got to have some interaction with people. I didn't for years, apart from going to see the old sweats and the boozer, and they were worse than being on my own. To be fair, out of about 10 people that were in my group, 5 aren't here anymore. 4 or 5. 4, well, one's just about there. Well, he's not very well, should we say. So in half the team, squad, crew, group of drinking pals, is not here. And that's in 6 years. So half the old table is dead. It's a bit grim, that's the way it is. The club's helped. Danand, so it was Women's Day 87, fantastic. Brought my mum out for her birthday and had a lovely pint of Erding alcohol free and a great meal. I swim in the sea every day. Went to a pool yesterday from swimming sauna. Fantastic. That's amazing. 87, you got your mum out and had a nice alcohol free beer. Nothing better, is it? You feel great, I bet. Yeah, Ricky, an average drink for me is 10 to 15 pints, a bottle or two of wine, then under the rum. That was me, easily 10, 15 pints, Ricky. But I didn't drink the rest of it. But it just got up me. Jackie Williams, I think connection is a huge issue with me. It is for a lot of people, Jackie, definitely connection. John Doe, what do they do in here? Sitting in a circle talking about your problems, I have no idea. Basically, yeah, I mean, there's probably some AA experts on here. I remember just sitting around saying, everyone had to stand up and say, I'm an alcoholic. My name's Skeving Smythe, or whatever it is, Leo from Frio, great inspiration, Steve. I only found out a mate passed last March on the weekend. We never knew. He did it well, and the family kept things under wraps due to the stigma. It's horrendous, the stigma, isn't it? Even doctors won't talk about it. Oh, he's a drinker. He's a drunk. He brought on himself. It's terrible. Mark Michael, last 10 years drink. 10 years drinking just disappeared. I was drunk for a decade, like being taken away by aliens and returned. First month sober, I had a Terminator and landing scene. It's totally different, isn't it, when you get off the booze? Thanks for the coffee. Somebody bought a coffee there. Hit the coffee link if you want to support the channel, please, or the super chats button. And it keeps us going. The more support we get, the more we can do. Yeah, you lose time, don't you? A lot of the time you lose because of the boozing, because of the recovery time. And you're hiding away from the shame and guilt of it all. It's an illness. It's not something we choose to do. Same with any other drug, isn't it, really? People who take cocaine don't expect to get addicted to it. Jackie, I am the opposite. I've self-isolated, living on a boat. I've been a bit of a hermit, but it keeps me sober. Yeah, that's a good point, Samara. You've got to do what you want to do, what's best for you, where you want to be in life, and where you're going to be most healthy. That's the key, because believe you me, and there's a few people on here that would endorse this, especially Samara. When you're really down on your health or with your health, all you want to do is live. All you want to do is live. And live another day. Live another hour. MJ, I believe sobriety is not the opposite of alcoholism. The opposite is connection. Definitely. I agree with that. We've just been talking about that. There was a test done where they put a rat in a basic cage with two options, plain water or water ice with drugs. I saw that, yeah. The rat chose the water laced with drugs almost every time. And placed in a nice, free and roaming nutrient environment, the rat chose plain water to build a good network. Yeah, it's a good point. I've just seen that where the rats isolated will take the drugs. When they're connected, they will be fine. Leo, if for sure the time wasted is the thing, not only the drain and the finances. The time when you waste trying to recover is huge. So Warwick somewhere live to live in a boat like that. Totally. Live on a boat, yeah, it's good if you want to be on your own. Brilliant place, nice and calm, and it's a bit of an ideal bohemian lifestyle, isn't it? Connection is 100%. This is why most alcoholics fail if they're single men particularly, they have no connection. Other than other people in the same boat, they're not reaching out to anybody who's got a bit more about them, a bit more gumption to get off the booze. They all become the same. That's why they don't speak to me. I'm not bothered about that. It's just an example. Do you know, Samara, there was me thinking you were some sort of yuppie living up in your yacht. Yes, nice in the Caribbean. Mark Stevens, environmental. Apparently was living with the rats, known as Stevie chose the water list. That's no. Yeah, you're right. The rats came later, didn't they? Charlie Dak, nice to see you, Charlie. Don't worry about your tardiness. It's always welcome. Yeah, you're always welcome. Jones, I need the best of both worlds. Yeah, you need a bit of everything, don't you? Live in the boat and then go into the city for a bit of craziness. Now and again, but not too crazy. You've got to live your life now because you're not here long, are you? Some people are here less than others. So, Marin, the chances of being born in this universe of trillions to one, what a shame. The alcohol ruined our short existence on this planet. Exactly. But it hasn't ruined it because we're here, have we? I feel better now than I did when I was 21 for a lot of reasons. But the good thing is I don't have any drink. And once your brain's cleared, you feel magnificent. John wants to live in a boat. That's a big boat, so we've got loads of people coming down there. You've got a coach load of people who want to live on that boat. Charlie, what's the cream you use on your face again? Oh, I only heard Vaseline. It's Vaseline. It's cocoa butter one. Brown container. Boots sell it. It's about £7 in Boots. Don't go to Boots. Go to Savers. £3.59. It's good. Vaseline, a cocoa, or something similar to that. Samantha might be able to tell you if she's still on here. Samara, you'll have to come pick me up. Get on his boat. We should have a little do on the boat. Thanks, Charlie, for that donation. So welcome and nice to see you on here again. It's a wicked name, that, folks, isn't it? Charlie Dak. Gangster. Hitman. Senior detective. Could be anything, couldn't it? Pilot. SES operator. Get Charlie Dak in. We'll sort it out. It's an incredible name. Mike Rice. As Irish is my lineage. Did look for Guinness Zero alcohol on our biggest store. I just say only certain times is your expense. Mike, it's hard to get. Couldn't get any in Turkey. Couldn't get any in Greece. Couldn't get any this year. We've been away a lot this year with my partner. Not being able to get it outside the UK. Did get in Dublin, obviously. That's where it's brewed, isn't it? but nowhere else. You get an internet, but it'd be expensive. It is nice to kind of see it on there. Tomorrow, John Doe, I will swap you. Run a Caligas the other night and burn cans to keep warm. Sometimes it's a bit Charles Dickens' big house living in the water. Yeah, it's interesting, though, isn't it? What about fishing? Is there any fish in there? I've always sort of, that's always been a glamorous thing to do, I thought. Just to get fishing netting, fishing rodding, get a few fish out. We all live in different places, don't we? The main thing is to keep sober, keep healthy. If you can't keep healthy, you've lost the plot, haven't you? Really, you've got to be firm with yourself. Simple as that. Not getting away completely from your environment when you quit alcohol can help immensely. Of course it does. You've got to move. You've got to move on. Keep moving. Leo, draining the finances as a result also takes the opportunity for nice holidays away. Of course it does. You can't do anything. It wasn't just draining the finances from you, it was taking off the will to live. I just wanted to crawl and die. I couldn't even walk around the block. Couldn't walk around the building. Jay Williams, I love autumn and winter. It comforts me. Yeah, it's a nice time of the year, isn't it? But the only problem with autumn and winter, if you're a drinker, it can push you into the boozer. You walk past what looks like a nice cosy pub, bit of atmosphere, stained glass windows, log fire. Ooh, wouldn't I just like to have one? This is fantasy versus reality again, isn't it? When I moved into Epping Forest, I thought I'll go to the local pub and have a couple of drinks and steak and chips. It never happened like that. John, yes, I have a gill net that catches the odd sea bass. Wow, that's good, isn't it? Sea bass by candle, very romantic. John Doe, I lived in a static caravan for 18 months about 15 years ago. I know what it's like running out of gas. Couldn't get on with those caravans now. Did a camper van a few years ago, but that was in south of France where it's warm, but I couldn't do that. Couldn't do it in the UK. Not at all. If you'd like to leave a super chat donation, please do. Or buy me a coffee would be handy. It's been a good, lively debate again, isn't it? A chat, whatever you want to call it. Mark, I never left the pub or my town for years when I was drinking. Now I travel the world. Exactly. I'll go over now. And it's fantastic just to go for short breaks. Being able to do what you want. You become free, you see, when you're not chained by alcohol. You're in handcuffs with alcohol forever. It's not good at all. Candlelight shot here. Christmas Tate, as the nights draw in and the Christmas fast approaching, daily evening, Lars would be a great help. Daily would be a bit much, unless I got a lot of support, of course, if you know what that means. Samantha, good night, Samantha. I'll be finishing this very soon. I'll see you soon. Jackie Williams, seen a fox today. It made my night. I bet it was, yeah. So Christopher there said, as the nights draw in and Christmas fast approaching, daily evening lives would be good. If I get enough support, I could do them. Unless people get sick of them. Okay, we've done about an hour and 10 then. So we'll say goodnight. If anybody's got any subjects you want me to cover, drop me a line or put a comment on or something, and we'll sort that out. Martial music. Scary fact I read on the Royal College of Physicians site. If a woman drinks 50 units per week for 5 years, they're at high risk of ARBD, especially in their 50s. Can you explain ARBD? Oh, it's supposed to be ARLD, which is alcohol related. It was a brain disease maybe. Mark, I saw a fox in London when I was there. March. Watching with a G&T Zero with a tub of peanuts. Well done. Well, I swear we knew each other. Take care, everyone. Cheers, Steve. Samara. Thanks, Steve. Good night, everyone. Keep your wits about you. When you travel in the UK, be safe. Yeah, terrible at Cambridge, wasn't it? Do connections, yeah. Okay, we'll do a connection video. Alcohol brain disease, yeah. I didn't realise that, Ian. Martial music, sorry. I'll have a look into that. Good night, everyone. Thanks, Steve. Good night, Steve. Thanks for the vlog, too. You're welcome. Let's crack on and I guess we eat now and hopefully have a good night. But if everybody's willing to put a bit of support donation, I could do these every night. Otherwise, I have to do them now and again. But something to think about that. I could do them every night with the right amount of support. If you get what I'm saying. Okay, folks. We'll see you soon. And thanks for everybody for coming on here. I'll put a post live. I'll probably be on Wednesday, maybe earlier, depending on what feedback I get. If you want to leave me a message, then please do so. You're great, Steve. Any love. And to you, Jackie, thanks for being here. And thanks to everybody who's contributed. And have a great Sunday evening and good Monday morning. Sober good Monday morning. Don't take the train. Yeah, you're right there. Okay, we'll say goodnight and take care, everyone. Speak soon. Let's put a little message there. Cheers. Catch you later.